Focus Foundation program offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
When I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, I had so many questions. I didn't even know that it was cancer. Now I do. It is cancer. Blood cancer. It's actually one of more than 100 different types, and they're all treated differently. Now, unlike some other forms of cancer, usually there's no tumor. You can't screen for it to prevent it, and the symptoms can look like other things, so it can be hard to diagnose. I had a fever for weeks. I was so tired all the time. I didn't feel like eating or doing anything else for that matter. And I know that this can feel scary. But if you know what to look out for, you'll know what to tell your doctor. And you'll feel more empowered to take the next steps. Like getting in touch with the people who know the ins and outs and can help with everything blood cancer related. Blood Cancer United. They work one-on-one with each person who reaches out to answer questions and offer resources. Blood Cancer United was there for me, and they can be there for you.
Go to bloodcancerunited.org to learn more.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Truth Nation, it's time for a special edition of Truth Unfiltered with Dr. Ken Harris and Denise Thomas.
So, I mean, like, what happens when you enter the barber? Do they like, okay, everybody, get out. Dr. Ken's in the building. Or everybody, don't talk. Kids, shut up.
You ever been in a black barbershop where it's like structured chaos?
And this show is strictly for the Truth fans. Watch and connect with us on the Truth YouTube channel.
You know what? The YouTube chat line, y'all be in a world by yourself. Y'all supposed to be listening to the show.
Or join the conversation as Truth Unfiltered is opening the Truth Talk and Text line for you.
833-212-1017. You can stream us live on YouTube and Twitter. Have you ever experienced a situation, if more than once, where you were passed up for a promotion, and when you inquired why you were passed over for the promotion, you were told, Dr. Ken, just be patient?
It was the grading in the promotion process where, and let me give you a very specific example because I had a person that was on the committee in the room.
Truth Unfiltered starts now on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here's DT and Dr.
DT, you'll just have to scoot to your right a little bit once we put you on the screen. Yep, there you go. Yep.
You're listening to Truth Unfiltered. Oh my God, another hour? Another 2 hours of this nonsense? You're listening to Truth Unfiltered. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris.
And you're not gonna say co-host, Dr. Ken?
I was waiting on you to jump in and go, and I'm Denise Thomas, the effective communicator. I gotta say it with a voice like, I'm Denise Thomas, the effective communication coach, and I'm here for 2 hours of the greatest radio in the world. Right?
That's
something like that.
To you?
No. That's how I sound to you? That's how I sound? That's how
like
you
Minnie Mouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay, so I sound like Minnie. Well, anyway, good evening, Truth Nation. I cannot speak for Dr. Ken, but I am so very excited to be back live with Dr. Ken on the Truth Unfiltered, co-hosted. See, that's the problem when you got people who, they're so used to just doing everything solo and by themselves. Then when they have a co-host, they don't know how to act. But we're gonna make this a great show.
With all due respect, this is your show.
This is my show.
Remember, with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris. Don't get it twisted.
No, it's your thing. Thomas. I'm gonna be like Smokey Robinson. It's Denise Thomas featuring featuring Dr. Ken.
Wow.
The day. But in all seriousness, good evening, everybody. And I know we have you, Dr. Ken, for the first hour, and I'm going to hold the fort down for the second hour. There is a lot of not so great news happening in our community here in Milwaukee. Before we get into that, because we've got a lot of interesting discussion and topics to share with you. We want to hear from you because we are live this evening. And our Truth Talk and text line is 855. Let me see if I remember. 212-1017. Oh, Lord, I didn't mess
833-212-1017.
Say it again.
833-212-1017.
And King Zach Alex, if you buzz me again, I'm gonna give the people your personal phone number. I'm straight.
He'll probably look. He'll put his phone number on the YouTube chat. Here, call me.
That is hilarious. So, okay, before we get into some local news,
Yep.
what is going on with kids who are murdering allegedly their parents? I saw that Rob Reiner and his wife were allegedly murdered by their son, Nick Reiner. The police have arrested him and he's being held responsible for the death of his parents. What is going on?
I don't know. I think they have 3 children together. And the daughter found them at the house, called 911. Evidently, they were at Conan O'Brien's house for Christmas. And they were getting into an argument. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, so you can go to a celebrity party and see families squabbling like anywhere. And evidently it carried over because the next day they'd been dead at least a day or two. And when the daughter came to check on them, I guess, they found them deceased and called 911.
So let me just give some background for those who may not be familiar with Rob Reiner. Now, I'm about to tell my age because I literally grew up watching what was probably one of the most viewed sitcoms in the late 70s, early 80s, which is where one of our favorite shows, The Jeffersons, developed from. And that show was called All in the Family.
Yep.
And Rob Reiner played the infamous son-in-law who would oftentimes have arguments with Archie Bunker, who was played by the late, great Carol, what's his last name?
Carol O'Connor.
Thank you. And many people know Rob Reiner as being a legendary Hollywood director, including movies like When Harry Met Sally, A Few Good Men, and The Princess Bride. But for old folks like me, it goes back to the sitcom All in the Family. And so what we now know is that Nick Reiner, and I'm doing the air quotes, allegedly is being held responsible for the death of his parents. Again, legendary Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his mother, producer Michelle Singer Reiner, according to the Los Angeles police. And as Dr. Ken had mentioned, the couple's daughter discovered them in their Brentwood home. That's where OJ, let me stop. That's where OJ allegedly, no, I can't say allegedly, I can say was found guilty.
Allegedly because he was found not guilty.
Well, the criminal, but the civil he was, right?
Yeah.
So allegedly murdered his former wife, Nicole Brown Simpson. Brent Hood, man, that's whew. So the couple's daughter discovered them in their Brentwood home yesterday. And the 32-year-old son was seen having an argument with his father, Rob Reiner, at a holiday party Saturday at Conan O'Brien's home. And this was according to a source very familiar with the incident. He was booked on suspicion of murder and is currently being held without bail, which I know earlier today, the son was being held on $4 million bail, reportedly. So now he is being held without bail. Man, this is crazy. Kids murdering their parents, stabbing them.
Adult kids.
Let me call my kids and make sure they know I love them. Like, are we good? I'm gonna call my kids right now. Like, before I come home.
Here's the deal. Don't let them come over for Christmas. Don't let them come over for Hanukkah. Don't let them come over for New Year's. No holidays. No Thanksgiving. You'll be fine.
Now, allegedly, I heard that the son had been vocal about his battle with drugs. So he had allegedly a drug addiction. Now, I'm not saying that that's what attributed or caused him to stab both of his parents to death, nor does it excuse murdering your parents However, it is a reminder that you can't control other adults. However, when there are signs that your children or any close loved one or member, for that matter, family member, is navigating through mental health issues, drug dependencies, simple prayers and thoughts, that's obviously not going to work, because the younger generation is navigating, again, I'll use that word, and dealing with a number of societal issues, socialization issues that are driving them to the point where they are resorting to this type of just, man, I can't even use the word violence, Dr. Ken, because it doesn't, like, what word would you use to describe someone who, you have to be beyond
Yeah, it's hard,
to
isn't
kill
it?
your parents.
It's hard, it's
Yeah.
hard, isn't it? Sometimes you try to come up with words for things people did, and you don't want to sound like you're mitigating it or you're coming up with an excuse. But some things you can't, you just can't fathom.
And what about this really just scares me the most is there are so many people who are affected by drug addiction, by mental health issues, and that who are just overall just not happy existing. And they hold their parents accountable. And to your point, I'm trying to come up with the right words because I don't know the situation that led up to this. But as a parent and also as a daughter, I can't relate, Dr. Ken. I can't think of anything that would be so horrific to where, because, and I don't want to be too graphic, but shooting somebody is different from stabbing. And for you to be able to stab two people where you stab them to death, that is very intentional. And that takes a lot of like rage and fury and anger. And I'm bringing this up because a lot of us that are either have parents or are parents or both, when we read headlines about this, it affects us, especially around the holiday season. So I really, again, I just don't know what else to say other than, man, this is crazy.
Well, remember, he had a drug addiction. So I'm sure that played a part in it. Somewhere in the time he was arrested and the time they set no bail was that they had set bail at $4 million, but then he must have said something. I can only assume he must have said something that caused them to say, no, we need to revoke bail, and that this guy doesn't need to get out.
Well, and I promise we are going to share some more positive news. But just here in Milwaukee, and Dr. Ken, I apologize if you covered this on your show earlier, but for our listeners who may have not been able to tune into your show today, there is another story that is breaking a lot of us as Milwaukeeans and Wisconsinites' hearts. And just again, all of this just calling us to just reflect deeply about the value of life and the fragility of youth and the responsibilities that we share as a society. Because just here in Milwaukee, a 10-year-old boy, Zyshawn Oten, and please pardon me if I did not pronounce Zyshawn's name correctly. And this young 10-year-old boy, who was described by his family as a social butterfly, a child who lit up every room that he walked into, and who had dreamed big dreams and dreamt of music and performance and even seeing himself on TV someday, who his loved ones had said he was destined to be a star, and yet was extinguished far too soon after an accidental shooting with a friend's unsecured firearm. First of all, what 10-year-olds are carrying or have firearms? Like when they say a friend's unsecured firearm at 10?
No, I think the child was at another home, or there was somebody that had a weapon in the parent's home, and it was loose, and that's how it happened.
Okay, so let's do this, Dr. Ken, because we've seen these type of tragic headlines over and over again. And I know if I'm tired of reading them and hearing about it, I know, Truth Nation, you are. And because what we can't do is desensitize and treat this as just another statistic. This young man had a bright future, and he's gone. There's no coming back. And whether this tragedy was accidental or not, it again continues to raise the issue of safe gun storage and access. Kids should never be able to get their hands on a loaded weapon, especially not by accident. And we've had this conversation over and over and over and over and over again. How do we as a community, how do we as parents, how do we as policymakers? I'm serious, y'all, because many of us that are listening and watching us live on YouTube, we all have family members, loved ones that are the same age and look just like Zyshawn. What will it take to prevent another family from ever hearing these words, these updates, these stories? And it's not even just in Milwaukee, it's happening all over. We've had a whole weekend of mass shootings. And people are grieving, but here's the thing, grief, it's not going to ignite change. So how do we take this grief and channel it into prevention, education, and just supporting our community? We got to quit pointing the fingers at the mayor and the police department, because it has nothing to do with them. It really doesn't. This again is parents, policymakers, legislators, communities. What do we owe our children in terms of safety, supervision, and community infrastructure? And at what point does this inaction become negligence? Because that's what it is to me.
Well, if you take it a step further, you can call it child abuse.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because as far as I'm concerned, Dr. Ken, advocacy, it's not just for the distant future, it's for right now.
Oh, yeah.
And again, whether it's safe storage, neighborhood conversations, or making sure that the policymakers, the legislators, are creating and supporting policies that protect children. Because this is, again, a time where we mourn and we also make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. All I can say is only time will tell. But then again, we said that the last time. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm totally speechless. When we come back, what are your thoughts? You can hit us on the talk and text line, 833-212-1017, or You can go to the YouTube chat. Of course, you can always stream and watch us live on YouTube at 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a show. Your thoughts. What are we going to do about the accidental shooting in Milwaukee? Accidental shooting. We'll be right back.
Hey, think you're the ultimate trivia champ?
Well, prove it against us, your favorite WTMJ host.
It's free to play. All we ask is bring a new unwrapped toy to benefit Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive.
Or you can donate at WTMJ.com. Just text TOY to the WTMJ talk and text line.
855-616-1620. Grab your friends. Test your smarts. All while helping a great cause.
It's the WTMJ Trivia Challenge, coming to a place near you.
Check out the schedule of where we will be at WTMJ.com.
Ho, 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 my back.
Santa?
Ho, 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 Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Yes. Next year, how about just asking for a Pella gift card? My elves are used to designing windows from other places where they're all pretty much the same. But Pella? Ho, ho, ho. So many customizations and designs. My elves aren't qualified, so Santa has to put in some overtime. Ho,
Let me make a call. BRB.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
Yeah, I know. Santa already lectured me. Ask for a Pella gift card.
What if you need new windows or doors, but you're on the naughty list?
Then this will definitely help. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months.
Ho, ho, ho! Visit the Pella site, and to all a good night.
PellaWI.com.
Service restrictions apply. It's 12/31/2025.
Your home has been working hard for you. Now it's time to let it work a little harder. With a home equity line of credit from Brewery Credit Union, you can turn the equity you've built into smart solutions. Pay off high-interest debt, remodel your kitchen, or take care of life's unexpected expenses with flexible access to funds when you need them. Apply today and put your home's value to work for you. Visit brewerycu.com or stop by Brewery Credit Union. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by NCUA.
To help those who want to be helped, but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Hi, I'm Priscilla Presley. My love for animals began when I was 5 years old. That sparked a lifelong commitment to speak up for animals who can't speak for themselves. Elvis and I supported American Humane Society because your compassion can change a life. American Humane Society strengthens the bond between humans and animals. Please visit AmericanHumane.org to learn more.
Coming back.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth Unfiltered. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, along with the effervescent. Watch her smile. Watch it. There she go. The effervescent. I knew she was. Denise Thomas, the effective communication coach. 833-212-1017 is.
We got a lot of comments coming in on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Truth Nation?
Yeah, blowing it up.
Let's see. B Bruce 1580 says stabbing. Yeah, that's a deep personal attack. Oh, that was about Rob Reiner. Yeah. Let's see, because we were just talking about a lot of violence that has been taking place over the weekend, including the murder of Rob Reiner and his wife. So the parents were allegedly murdered by their son through a stabbing. B. Bruce also says, it's always the ones with a light on them get worse. Results if they were black. This is so sick. It breaks my heart a bit. This solely on the managing parents and relatives. One of them should have been watching this child's interactions and actions, period. I can call out the parents of all the kids in the city via billboards to pay attention to their kids 24/7. No closed doors to kids' rooms. Y'all be letting y'all's kids have closed doors? I didn't let my kids close their doors when they were young living with me. You get to close your door when you pay rent, when you pay mortgage.
So watch this. You can close your door when you're changing clothes. You can leave it cracked when you sleep. But I have a right to come in anytime because I paid a mortgage.
Absolutely.
I'll be nice. I'll knock first because I had daughters. I'll knock. And do the 1,000, 2, 1,000. I mean, it's bottom line is something interceded taking care of children. Something either children are either not being, it seems to me, just my opinion, they're either not being taken care of or they're growing up too fast.
Let me ask you a question, Dr. Ken. Would it be at all fair, and I'm just asking the question, I'm not insinuating or implying anything, but I do think it's a valid question because this was the same type of questions that were presented during the world famous Menendez brothers murder trial, where they were found guilty and are currently serving, I think, up to a 35-year sentence for murdering their parents. Should the parents, because there were a lot of people that were saying the Menendez brothers should be released, they were abused by their parents, both sexually and physically, they should be held accountable as well for their children's outrage and ultimately being found guilty of murdering their parents. How do you feel about that, Dr. Ken? Both as a parent and growing up with parents.
Well, I think it depends on how much money you have and how important you are. Let me give an example. When the Menendez brothers committed their crime, they were sentenced. They went back into court, and under the California Youthful Offender Statute, it automatically made so that if you commit a crime under the age of 26, I don't know if that's youthful or not, 25 years old, I'm just saying. If you are under the age of 26, 25 and under, it will immediately make you eligible for parole once you serve half their term. Unless you had the money or the backing or the power to go back in court and get this done, I'm sure there are a lot of people that would be stuck in jail because they don't have the money. So again, these cases that come to light are always cases where the parents are affluent, and it happens not because the killing happened, but because, oh my God, they came from a two-parent household. It was loving. It was the anomaly of what looked like a perfect family, and something happened. And they can't fathom. Now, the problem is the Menendez brothers are Hispanic, and unfortunately, they're looked upon as, in some cases, being the new black, where they're treated like adults, too. Oh, they commit a crime. Well, they knew what they were doing because they're smart. They're ingenious. And they got life.
You're the first person.
Say what?
You're the first person that I've ever heard bring up their race. And I'm not saying that it hasn't been brought up, but you're the first person. And I've spoken with a lot of people about this case because from my lens, they portray themselves, and based on their appearance, because their appearance, they had close proximity to whiteness. Mm-hmm. They did not, how do I say this? This is the truth unfiltered. If their last name weren't Menendez, They sure didn't act like they weren't white.
But they exhibited and had the money that made them act that way. Does that make sense? So
no, absolutely, I agree.
Right, and so that's where I was going. They're Menendez and they're this, but the fact that would you bother even pulling up the fact, hey, these guys may be eligible for the California Youthful Offender Statute. Yeah, right. Oh, I forgot to tell him. I was a lawyer. I forgot. Like there's so many things in the way. The resentencing was one of 3 possible paths to freedom sought by the brothers. The other 2 included clemency by Gavin Newsom, who ordered the parole board to assess whether the brothers would pose a threat or a new trial. I'm like, what? But again, when you look at them, you don't, how can I say this? You might be named Menendez, but when I look at you, you don't look like Menendez.
That's what I'm saying. And furthermore, as far as I'm concerned, after you murder your parents and you're out here taking your life insurance inheritance and buying Ferraris and Jeeps and all kind of other luxury items, very expensive luxury items, and having house parties. Come on now.
We've been talking about house parties all day. I'm sorry.
And y'all didn't invite me? But, I say that to say this.
Yeah, but we were talking about Bill Cosby's parties and R. Kelly's parties and Diddy's parties. And, yeah.
Bill Cosby had parties?
Yeah, that's what got him in trouble.
I didn't know that Bill Cosby had parties.
Well, not those kind of parties. He had parties where you invited people and we got drinks and Quaaludes. Y'all can come hang out.
Jello Bunny?
Yeah,
Bill Cosby?
Oh, yeah.
Cliff Huxtable?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll just say this, because I know we've been talking about all these tragic murders of children murdering their parents. This is just me. And again, I'm speaking from a lens where I've been mad at my mom and dad, and I know my kids have been mad at me, and we've had some very heated conversations. I can't make it make sense to the point where, because the Menendez brothers had automatic rifles. They came to kill. Rob Reiner and his wife's son stabbed both of them to death. The rage, the premeditation that it takes to execute that type of murder, I don't know if you can say that they're crazy or not, or they have mental health issues, or they were defending themselves. I don't know. But again, I'm speaking from a lens of I can't relate. But I know one thing. I hope that the justice system continues to send the message that you can't be out here killing your parents.
That's nice of you. Isn't that nice? Don't go kill your parents. I think that's the mantra for 2026. Well, no, that's the mantra for today through next year, because you might say, well, wait a minute, I can do it now because it's only still 2025. Nah, it's there's something that he had to have been high, or he had to have been like what? Because rumor has it, before we go to break, he had a drug problem. He had a major drug problem, and that's what they were arguing about at Conan O'Brien's house.
Well, stay locked in, because when we come back, we're going to get into another story out of Cudahy, Wisconsin, which, as far as I'm concerned, is both shocking and heartbreaking. And Dr. Ken, when we come back, we're going to get into this. Nothing is off limits, and we're going to dig beneath the headlines to talk about this top story out of Cudahy, Wisconsin, where a staff member at Cudahy High School has been charged with 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault of a child. So when we come back, we're going to get into that. You are listening to The Truth Unfiltered, live with DT and Dr. Ken Harris. Our Truth Talk and text line is 833. Oh, Lord, I don't want to get buzzed by it, Zach. 212-1017. Oh, thank goodness I got it right. 833-212-1017. Let us know your thoughts. When we come back, we're going to get into this Cudahy, Wisconsin, shocking and heartbreaking story about a staff member being charged with 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault of a 15-year-old child. Stay locked in.
Talk to these people in terms of how do I register for this program despite my reservations and my previous experiences of rejection?
Yes, I tell anybody and everybody that you can buy a house. It may take somebody longer than the other person, depending on what your circumstances is with your credit and income and affordability, but you can purchase a house. The first step would be is to register for our program. You can come to our office, 7830 West Burleigh Street, or you can give us a call at 414-461-6330, or just go onto our website, hri-wi.org. Register for the first-time home buyer education workshop. That's going to be your first step to home ownership. During that class, you're going to learn everything that you need to know from A to Z, how to get approved for a house, how to look for a house and put an accepted offer, and how to close on a home.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
You are listening to The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Y'all should tune in. Yeah, you should stream us right now live on YouTube. Go to YouTube, search for 101.7 The Truth, subscribe, and make sure that you hit that live button so you can see Dr. Ken and yours truly, DT, live. As I'm excited. We typically don't broadcast live on Mondays. We usually broadcast live on our sister station, WTMJ 620, and then it's rebroadcasted today. But now we're here live so we can actually engage with each of you as our valued listeners. Yes, you. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. This is The Truth Unfiltered, live with DT and Dr. Ken Harris. And you can listen to Dr. Ken Harris every weekday afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, because we know he's got some global listeners and viewers. people from different sites and regions of the country. That's why I'm emphasizing Central Standard Time. Now, our truth talking. Why are you laughing, Dr. Ken?
Because I'm reading I know what you're about to talk about, and I'm reading, because you talked about Cudahy, and I'm reading the talking text line, and it's hard to argue with B. Bruce, because he said Cudahy should now be known as Bug Tussle, the hillbilly town from Beverly Hillbillies.
That is hilarious.
There's a ongoing. See, I didn't know whether it was a black community thing or a Milwaukee community thing, because I moved here from out of town, as did you. So I don't know the nuances of do y'all call it that because of, so when you talk about there's a difference between West Allis and Stallis. Oh yeah, them folk from Stallis, and I never knew what that meant. And they were like, yeah, like Oak Creek, Cudahy, St. Francis, South Milwaukee, and I was like, that's kind of mean to talk about people like that, to kind of, like what? But the stereotypes, just like they have for the north side of Milwaukee and the near south side with Hispanic, the stereotype of people that live there, like literally jumped out as I started to meet people and go, oh, or visit and went, oh. So for him to say that, yes and no. I agree but disagree. So Cudahy High School, staff member charged with sexual assault of a student.
2 counts.
I tried to read the story, but I'm learning. If I start getting angry, I need to stop reading it.
Yes, you've got to preserve your positive energy. So to your point, these are the facts that Dr. Ken and I know. A 28-year-old staff member was charged with not 1 but 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault of a child. The victim was a 15-year-old student. The incidents occurred in 2023 off school grounds. The school district of Cudahy has placed him on leave immediately after the report. Now, it's not just a Wisconsin thing, because nearby states are seeing similar allegations. There's a Connecticut teacher that allegedly groomed and assaulted a student over multiple years. So these aren't isolated flukes, for lack of better words, but part of a broader, and I'm going to use this word intentionally, pattern of boundary violations in professional contexts.
Yep.
Why are so many professionals failing? Over the weekend, and I'm going to save my op-ed for the second hour when Dr. because he and I have already had a brief off the air conversation, and we, what's the word? Vehemently disagree with one another. What's that word?
We agreed to disagree.
Yes.
Okay.
So what I'm seeing is professionals that have what they consider power, access, and trust. So what do I mean by that? Hey, Lucretia on our YouTube message board says, hello, Dr. Ken. Hey, Denise. Hey, sis. Hey, honey. Hey, sis.
I don't get all the big ones. I just get a hey.
Oh, here you go. Anyway, so here's my position, Truth Nation, and our Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. You got a group of people that have been given a certain level of power, a certain level of access. And a lot of these positions, whether you're an educator, whether you're a head coach, it automatically comes as a trustworthy position. So you've got folks in these roles that are taking advantage of that trust, of that access, of that power. And they also have unique access to vulnerable populations. When you look at most of these headlines that we've seen over the recent weekend or recent month, the victim is usually someone who's in a vulnerable position or a vulnerable population, whether that's an assistant, secretary, student. And so what we then have now is institutional betrayal. What is institutional betrayal? I'm so glad you asked. That's when institutions fail to identify, prevent, or respond to misconduct, and then it deepens the trauma and erodes the trust. Denise, what are you saying? That institutions had already known about this? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that for certain positions of power, until it gets to the point where it really hits the fan. What was the head coach what was it? The University of Pennsylvania?
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
The football coach?
Right. That was touching the boys.
And how long did that allegedly take place?
Yep.
I think it was like over 3 decades.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying, Truth Nation? When you are in a position of power and you take advantage and abuse all those things that come with that, oftentimes it's way long after the first assault to then it becomes a headline. What are schools, whether it's elementary, middle, high school, institutions of higher learning like colleges, doing to prevent inappropriate relationships before they start? Where are the resources to train how to respond effectively, and what policies are in place to ensure that early disclosures don't get ignored? Because all of these incidents could have been prevented.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So then what do you do? What do you... College is a little different because you're dealing with adults. You're dealing with whether or not it's undergraduate versus graduate student. Do you have a position of power over them? If you're an advisor
2 minutes.
or a something or a this and you have direct contact, it's automatic. Like, if you did that, you should just get fired. Even if you went on a date, you're fired. Like, done. There should be some built-in mechanisms. But part of the issue in K-12 is that I asked, so how many times do you get a background check? And they said, oh, you get it when you're hired. I'm like, I worked there 30 years. You're telling me you haven't checked me in 30? So unless I do something that draws attention to myself, you have no idea. You could get arrested for OWI. You could get arrested for, battery, domestic violence. You could, like, what? Like, that's weird to me. I would literally, and I know I keep saying this, I would literally pay an extra $50 to $100 in my taxes if every single person in the school district, we can hear you typing, that every person in the school, that every person.
I might have been over here remixing, scratching the ones and twos to give you a little underscore.
That everybody in the school district gets a background check at least every other year. But nothing?
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Because our amazing producer, y'all know him as Zach or DJ Brother Z. I call him King Zach Alex. When we come back, because here's the thing. I want us as parents, to all of our valued listeners right now, I want us as parents, aunties, uncles, big brothers, sisters, just caring adults to understand the warning signs of what is known as grooming behaviors. Because a lot of these predators and these perverts, they have what we call grooming behavior. So we need to understand what those behaviors look and feel like. And then from a call to action standpoint, we come back, I'm going to give you some of what I advise, because my kids are adults now. But when they were in school, as a single mom, I would ask these certain questions to the school districts where my kids attended. So we come back, I'm going to get into that. I'm sure that Dr. Ken will have a reaction, whether it's agreement or from his perspective things, but stay locked in because we come back. I'm going to give you some advice and some perspective on how to protect your students, because these institutions, they stay protected. You feel what I'm saying, Truth Nation? They stay protected. So I'm going to give y'all what I have done to make sure that my kids were protected and the questions that I asked, especially when my kids were attending predominantly white schools, to the point where it wasn't even predominant. Like, I think my kids were the only 2 black kids at the school they attended. But stay locked in. As we come back, we're going to get into that, because it's important that we understand not only what to be aware of, but how to communicate that effectively. So I'm going to put on my effective communication coach hat and give some free, well-deserved coaching on how to address and how to protect, because we can't wait for it to get to the headlines. 833-212-1017. You are listening to The Truth Unfiltered. We're going to unpack this when we come back. I am your co-host, Denise Thomas, along with the intellectual, never vulnerable, never easily influenced, Dr. Ken Harris. Stay locked in.
On Friday night, the Milwaukee Panthers take on the South Dakota State Jackrabbits at the Fiserv Forum.
Jump pass to the corner right. Elam, 10 on the shot clock. Back out for Zaya. Logo 3 for Zay. It's pure. It's pure. It's a 7-point lead. 65-58. I didn't think he was going to shoot that thing. I'm glad he did.
Scott Warris has the coverage Friday starting at 3:30 on 101.7 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 4 p.m.
Ho, 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 my back.
Santa?
Ho, 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 Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Yes. Next year, how about just asking for a Pella gift card? My elves are used to designing windows from other places where they're all pretty much the same. But Pella? Ho, 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 so many customizations and designs. My elves aren't qualified, so Santa has to put in some overtime. Ho,
Let me make a call. BRB.
Frighteningly fast pellet team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
Yeah, I know. Santa already lectured me. Ask for a Pella gift card.
What if you need new windows or doors, but you're on the naughty list?
Then this will definitely help. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months.
Ho, ho, ho! Visit the Pella site. And to all, a good night.
PellaWI.com.
Service restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2025.
Ready to hit the road in your new car? At Brewery Credit Union, we make it easy with affordable payment options on auto loans designed to fit your budget. Whether it's a brand new ride or the perfect used vehicle, we'll help you get behind the wheel faster. With flexible terms, quick approvals, and personalized service you can trust. Don't wait. Start your journey today. Apply online at brewerycu.com or visit us at Brewery Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
At Heart of Canal Street, for over 30 years, our hearts have been set on making a difference for children in our community. Now through December 10th, we invite you to share your heart by playing the Canal Street Bingo game at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Every time you play this special bingo game, you're helping to raise funds for children's charities in southeastern Wisconsin. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Got about 3 minutes this segment, DT.
Unfiltered. Denise Thomas, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017 is the number. You know, alongside this whole Cudahy High School and other things we've been talking about over the past few weeks, there was a story I had uncovered from October of this year in the Cap Times in Madison that talked about how people had resigned from jobs and people had behavior that constituted grooming and sex with students and sexual comments to students, inappropriate behavior on social media. They had over 200 of these from 2018 to 2023. And basically, the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction investigates and documents educator misconduct. But you can't find, well, then what did they do? Were they fired? Did they leave and get jobs in different places? What happened? They said at that rate, estimates show 1 in 10 students experience sexual misconduct from educators during their K-12. That's according to a federal report. In Wisconsin, that rate would amount to more than 93,000 students in the state of Wisconsin experiencing sexual misconduct. That includes physical, verbal, electronic, all those things that don't belong in schools that have happened here. It's just.
And can I just say this, Dr. Ken? This is what people tend to disregard. Trauma never goes away.
That's right.
It never goes away. You are always in the process. If you acknowledge, that's why they call it post-traumatic stress disorder. And what it does, especially when it occurs at a young age, there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of what are now adults, who are now adults, that experience this type of abuse and trauma and that are walking around not trusting anybody. And then that's what results. I'm not excusing, but that's often what times is the root cause of mass shootings and other violent acts. And we have to, when we come back, like I said, the second hour, I'm going to get into what schools, from my lens, should be doing to prevent these inappropriate relationships before they even start. And I also want, Truth Nation, each of us to understand what grooming, because a lot of these powerful professionals, they execute what's called grooming. So when we come back from in our second hour, when Dr. Ken is gone and I can really unfilter the truth.
That's right.
We're going to get into that. And we're also going to talk about from my lens, and I hope all the ladies that are listening, we're going to get into this University of Michigan coach. Hey, Mal the Elephant. He says, the one and only Butterscotch Barbie, the legendary DT. Love you.
Wow.
When we come back, stay locked in. Dr. Ken, that's his nickname. I love it. Dr. Ken, thank you so much. Thank you for holding the fort down for 3 consecutive hours of live talk radio. I got this next hour for you, Dr. Ken. Love you so much.
Love you too.
All right, y'all, stay locked in. We're going to be back, and I'm going to be your host for the second hour. This is The Truth Unfiltered with DT and Dr. Ken Harris.
Tune into the award-winning 1017 The Truth Black Business Give Back Spotlight this Friday at 3:57 p.m. between The Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. I'll be joined by Felicia, owner of Gimme Cake, where we will discuss what inspired her to start a Southern-style cake made from scratch business and why she offers commercial kitchen space for other business owners to use. So again, tune into the Black Business Give Back Spotlight with Gimme Cake this Friday at 3:57 p.m. right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to former NBA head coach Earl Watson. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Hey there, Jane Lynch here. You want to hear something funny? Too bad. You want to hear something uplifting that will inspire you? Good. Because today, I want to talk to you about Direct Relief, a humanitarian organization that does seriously good work when it counts. Fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. When disaster strikes, Direct Relief immediately shows up with medicines, medical supplies, and everything doctors and nurses need to save lives. Let's ship her out! Every day across the United States and around the world, they're making an enormous difference. If someone needs help, Direct Relief helps. No politics, no red tape. Hey, what you doing over there?
Oh, I'm packing insulin for kids with diabetes.
See, every box here is literally a lifeline for someone in critical need. So check them out at directrelief.org and donate if you can. You might just bring a smile to someone's face.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. And you think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. More of The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Oh, King Zach Alex, I love that. What is that?
It's called Stormin' by Norman Brown.
Yes! Can you text that to me, please?
Yep.
That's a good wake-up music. I love that. Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, December 15th. We are coming to you live, which we typically don't do. You are listening to The Truth Unfiltered with your girl, DT. Dr. Ken, he held the fort down. Let's give Dr. Ken a shout out because he basically did 3 consecutive hours of live talk radio, beginning with his show, which you can catch every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. right here on 101.7 The Truth. And then he joined us as my co-host for the first hour of The Truth Unfiltered. Again, I am going to be holding it fort down for this final hour of the day. And remember, 101.7 The Truth is the only station that's going to give you 11 live hours, and I think today 13 of live Black consecutive talk radio. You can't get that anywhere else. So make sure that you tune in right now. You can catch me on YouTube. Just go to 101.7 The Truth, click that live button. Also hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of your favorite shows here at The Truth, as well as notifications, because there's always breaking news. Speaking of YouTube, let me go to our YouTube message board. Let's see what's going on. Again, Mal the Elephant, thank you for tuning in. It's been a while. Great to see you on YouTube. B. Bruce says, DT, where are your kids' fathers? Wasn't he an asset mentally to your kids' progression? Your kids sound great. Thank you so much. My kids are now adults. I'm retired from parenting. B. Bruce 1580. They're going to be 31 and 28 in a few months. And so I'm a little bit retired. As far as father, that it's plural. My children have 2 different fathers. I am not proud nor ashamed. When you're young, you make young decisions. But I'm very proud of my kids. Now, were their kids assets to them mentally? I will say this. They are here. They are doing well. My daughter is earning her doctorate in clinical psychology at the Distinguished University of Evansville in my hometown, Evansville, Indiana. And my son, who still resides in Milwaukee, is doing very well for himself. He's got his own place. He got his own car. He got his own job. He got his own money. He paid his own bills. That's all I can ask for. That's all I ask for. I tell my kids all the time, if you are not in jail and don't have 20,000 kids with 20,000 baby mamas or baby daddies across the country, you all right with me. So shout out to both my children, Dominique and Darren Thomas. Y'all make me proud every day. Now, before we went to break, we were talking about the most recent sexual misconduct and professional boundary violation that happened right here in Cudahy, Wisconsin. Listen, y'all, this is like beyond shocking. And in actuality, for me, it's heartbreaking because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of seeing professionals take advantage of their role. Now, let me give y'all the rundown really quick if you're just tuning in. And thank you again for tuning in. Our Truth Talk and text line is 833-212-1017. You got this 28-year-old staff member that was charged with 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault of a child. Now, the victim was a 15-year-old student. And check this out, y'all. The incidents occurred in 2023 off school grounds. That's right. Y'all read between the lines. Now, the school district of Cudahy has placed this 20-year-old staff member. They placed him on leave immediately after the report. There is a pattern of professionals at schools, whether it's elementary, middle, high school, and even as we've seen with the university, a former University of Michigan football head coach, there is a pattern of power, access, and trust issues with these professionals. Why are so many professionals in roles of education, coaching, getting this access to vulnerable populations such as students, children, assistants? It goes on and on and on. And I call it institutional betrayal. And this is basically when institutions fail to identify or fail to prevent or even fail to respond to misconduct. Because as far as Cudahy, this happened back in 2023. It started allegedly in 2023. Off school grounds. Now let me get into my editorial. Because again, I had 2 children that were in the public school system. I'm not going to say which. I've said it before on the air, but I'm just not going to say it tonight because I don't want to. As a single mom with 2 kids, I had to be both the protector and the provider and the nurturer. See, usually in a traditional 2-parent household, you've got 2 parents. One that primarily plays the role of the provider, the protector. And then you've got another parent who plays the role of the nurturer. Traditionally, that's been the father, and then that's been the mother. When you're a single parent, you got to do all the above. It's difficult because there's no balance. You got to make choices. And so what I would do as a parent of 2 children that were, give or take, 19 to 20 years younger than me, which wasn't that big of a gap in terms of parenting, I educated my children, and explicitly, there wasn't no birds and the bees in my house. It was explicit conversations about the warning signs of when you are being what we call groomed. Because see, predators and perverts and people that are in powerful positions that are predators and perverts, they are very intentional. It's a step-by-step process where they groom their victims. And let me break that down in terms of what that is. See, the person is going to first find somebody that is very vulnerable, that needs validation, and will present themselves as a mentor. They target young people or vulnerable people that oftentimes demonstrate a need for attention, a need for love, a need for family, a need for community, a need for validation. And they become emotionally vulnerable. That's where it starts. And so if the predator sees any lacking of strong supervision or support, boom, that's a target. And if they are able to create this dependency to where the victim sees the predator as someone of power, someone of trustworthy. This could be a teacher, this could be a coach, this could be an aide, this could be someone who presents themselves as a mentor, because groomers often position themselves where access and authority already exist. That's where they start, the targeting. Then they go into building trust and connecting with their victim emotionally. It could be an excessive amount of compliments or praise. Like, you're more mature than the other students, or you're more smarter than the other students. And so then they become a confidant, or what is commonly known as, and I'm doing the air quotes, a safe person. Then they start to talk about personal problems. Then they start to be revealing because they want to create that emotional bonding. And this is often where it looks like mentorship or care. Parents, please understand who is considered by your child or your student a mentor in their life. Oh yeah, Mr. So-and-so, yeah, he's my mentor. Oh really? I need to meet Mr. So-and-so. I need to have a conversation with Mr. So-and-so. I need Mr. So-and-so to know who I am. The third phase of grooming is what we call isolation. And see, this is where I would tell my kids, if any adult, including me, says something to you like, oh, this is just between us, or nobody else needs to know about this. See, that's what we call encouraging secrecy, which is a part of the isolation process. It creates a one-on-one time away from others. So that way you're undermining the victim's parents, the teachers, or even their classmates, their peers. And they frame themselves as the only one who truly understands. Let me tell y'all right now, isolation is one of the biggest red flags. Our Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. And I don't pretend to be the greatest parent on earth, but when it came to my kids at a very young and vulnerable age, especially when they were black kids in a predominantly white school, oh yeah, we had these kind of conversations. When we come back, we're going to continue talking about this because awareness is everything. And I hope that when we come back, if you do have a student within close proximity, tell them to put their AirPods on or headphones, whatever they listen to, and tune in and listen to this right now, because this is a significant problem that for the past 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years has always been, shh, we don't talk about that. We don't, that's stirring up trouble. To now, in 2025, it's becoming more visible. And a lot of it has to do with social media, other communication apps. But with that being said, those same social media apps that have direct messaging or DMing, that also is a direct inlet to how what we call digital grooming takes place. So again, stay locked in. I'm going to pick up where I left off when we come back. And I really want us to understand when we talk about these types of issues that just infuriate me, we also have to pay attention in terms of why victims remain silent. We have to get ahead of this to stop the abuse before it starts. So stay with me. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. I want to hear from you as well. 833-212-1017 is our Truth Talk and text line. You are listening to The Truth Unfiltered with your host. As my co-host, Dr. Ken, had to take care of some other business, we're going to continue this conversation. We'll be back.
The mic's off. It's in our mind, right? You know when Gil Scott-Heron said the revolution won't be televised? Like he didn't mean that you won't be able to watch it on TV. He means the revolution starts in your mind. You nincompoop. Y'all been running around saying that for 60 years. The revolution won't be televised and didn't even know what the hell it meant. It starts with us.
Let him cook. Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Ho, 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 my back.
Santa?
Ho, 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 Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Yes. Next year, how about just asking for a Pella gift card? My elves are used to designing windows from other places where they're all pretty much the same. But Pella? Ho, 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 so many customizations and designs. My elves aren't qualified, so Santa has to put in some overtime. Ho,
Let me make a call. BRB.
Frighteningly fast pellet team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
Yeah, I know. Santa already lectured me. Ask for a Pella gift card.
What if you need new windows or doors, but you're on the naughty list?
Then this will definitely help. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months.
Ho, ho, ho! Visit the Pella site. And to all, a good night.
PellaWI.com.
Service restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2025.
At Heart of Canal Street, for over 30 years, our hearts have been set on making a difference for children in our community. Now through December 10th, we invite you to share your heart by playing the Canal Street Bingo game at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Every time you play this special bingo game, you're helping to raise funds for children's charities in southeastern Wisconsin. Learn more at potawatomi.com/heart.
Your home has been working hard for you. Now it's time to let it work a little harder. With a home equity line of credit from Brewery Credit Union, you can turn the equity you've built into smart solutions. Pay off high-interest debt, remodel your kitchen, or take care of life's unexpected expenses with flexible access to funds when you need them. Apply today and put your home's value to work for you. Visit brewerycu.com or stop by Brewery Credit Union. Equal housing lender. Federally insured by NCUA.
Are you ready for open enrollment? Now through January 15th, you can explore affordable health insurance options if you don't already have coverage through your job, Medicare, or Medicaid. The Community Health Access Program, CHAP, helps residents find affordable plans and guides you through the enrollment process, connecting you with resources to support your family. CHAP is a program of the City of Milwaukee Health Department. Learn more at milwaukee.gov/CHAP. That is milwaukee.gov/CHAP or calling 414-286-80. Coming back.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Go ahead.
See, this is why your DJ Brother Z. I'm gonna need you to send me this link. What is this song? I'm so out of the tape.
This is Double Up by Nipsey.
Can you please send this to me as well?
Yep.
You just made me a playlist.
Yeah, I got you.
That's gonna be my Christmas gift request.
Bet you use Spotify or Apple?
Apple.
All right, I'll see what I can do. I don't have Apple Music anymore, but I'll see what I can do.
I appreciate you. That's my nephew right there. Love you, nephew. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. You are listening live to The Truth Unfiltered with your girl, DT. Dr. Ken, he held the fort down for 3 consecutive hours. Got to give him some love as he had another business meeting to take care of. So I'm going to hold the fort down for our remaining 30 minutes or so. Now, we've been talking about a top story out of Cudahy, Wisconsin, which I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's disgusting. And I'm sick and tired of us seeing this pattern over and over and over again, where adults that are put in positions of trust, whether they're educators, mentors, head coaches, we're going to get into that in a few minutes, that are crossing boundaries that should never be crossed. Why is this happening? In a moment when we as society are supposedly, and I'm doing the air quotes, more aware than ever before of the importance of safeguarding young people. Why? The Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. I am asking you, valued listeners, yes, you. Why are we, again, seeing these types of disgusting, perverted behaviors by people who are put in powerful positions, trustworthy positions, accessible positions? And we have more awareness of how we can protect and safeguard our young people, and yet this is still happening. And so if you're asking me, Denise, what are you talking about? DT, what's going on? A 28-year-old staff member was charged with 2 counts of second-degree sexual assault of a child out of Cudahy. So the school district of Cudahy has placed him on leave. Now, the victim was, again, 15-year-old student, 15-year-olds, a baby. And the incidents occurred off school grounds back in 2023. That's right, you do the math. What year are we in? Now, for the past 2 segments, I've been breaking down how we as responsible, loving and caring and non-perverted and non-disgusting adults can protect our children, because, children are very vulnerable. And they're usually the primary victims and targets of sexual exploitation and or abuse. And let me be clear, these perverts that are put in powerful professional positions, this is very intentional and oftentimes strategic. And oftentimes hidden in plain sight. So I want to break it down in terms of what I did when both my children were attending public schools in Wisconsin. I'm not going to say which school district. That doesn't even matter. But there are some truths that often get missed. And so we're going to unfilter that truth. Let me first by saying this. Number one, grooming is abuse. Now, if you're just tuning in, thank you, Brother Z, DJ Brother Z, and put some respect on your name. If you're just tuning in, I broke down the first elements of grooming. And I'm going to piggyback where I left off, but please understand that grooming is just, if not even more, part of the abuse, even before the physical contact occurs. See, these are the key truths that again, often get missed. The second thing I want to call out as part of my key truths is that, and I want to say this for the people in the back of the room, and I want to say this to the people that are being abused or have been abused. You are never, ever, ever responsible. I want to be clear. As a victim, you are never responsible. Don't let somebody try to convince you, well, if you hadn't have done this, or if you hadn't have worn that, or if you hadn't have said this, shut up. Victims are never responsible. Another key truth that we need to understand is that grooming, it happens online, it happens in person, it happens both. And it often looks normal to outsiders. Oh, that's little Serena's mentor. Oh, that's Lisa's coach. And it thrives in those type of environments that lack oversight or accountability. whether it be schools, churches, athletic teams, healthcare institutions, nonprofit organizations. Is this not the truth unfiltered? Do y'all want me to sugarcoat this? Or you want me to keep it 100? You want me to keep it 101.7 the truth? Because that's what I'm here to do. Power plus access plus trust, it is a risk. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? And silence and reputation minus the protection enables the harm. Grooming is not about attraction. It's about power, access, and control. And it doesn't start with sex. It starts with silence. So let me pick up where I left off. Because we were talking about what grooming entails, the targeting, the building the trust and creating that emotional connection. Like, oh, you're more mature than the others. Yeah, I want you to understand that you could talk to me about anything. I'm a confidant. I'm a safe person. You know, I'm going to start sharing some personal problems with you, and I want you to do the same thing with me so that we can create this emotional bonding. See, that often is perceived as mentoring or caring about somebody. No. If you ever read or hear what your natural instinct deems as inappropriate, whether it's a joke, whether it's a comment or a question, that's a red flag. That's a flag on the play. If there's this like casual physical contact, you know, like a grace on the shoulder, a touch on the leg, that's a red flag. They're testing you to see what you're going to tolerate. Because if the boundaries aren't challenged, then guess what? The behavior is going to escalate. There's no reason why any professional should be touching you, touching me, unless we have, as adults, a mutual understanding. And I wouldn't even do it at work. It's not worth it. Let's get into the other element of grooming, sexualization. See, this is where grooming becomes unmistakably abusive. I want to repeat that. This is where the grooming becomes unmistakably abusive. When sexual topics or imagery is sent, that's a red flag. When framing sexual behavior as normal or educational or consensual, that's a red flag. It makes the victim feel responsible or complicit. Then you get into, and this is where the person of power misuses and abuses their position, because then they get into controlling their victim through fear, through shame, or through guilt, maybe even all the above. Threats. No one is going to believe you. No one is going to believe you. That's a threat. Or just like the head coach of Michigan football, when he went to the victim's house and started pulling butter knives out the drawer and hold it up to his neck and saying, you're ruining my life. You're trying to ruin my life. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to unlive myself. See, that's what they try to do, the guilt. Then you get into the shame. You wanted this too. It's called manipulation. And this is why so many victims do not report the abuse for years. Because remember, the Cudahy case, where the 28-year-old professional was sexually abusing his 15-year-old victim off school grounds since 2023. See, this is why victims don't report, because you've got the control, the fear, the shame, the guilt. And the key truths that often get missed is that, again, grooming is abuse even before the physical contact occurs. And again, I want to emphasize, victims are never responsible. Grooming, it's what takes place, and parents, please get familiar, because grooming is a deliberate yet gradual process that is used by an adult to build trust, lower those boundaries that oftentimes we instill in our children, and then they get access to that child or to that vulnerable person for the sole purpose of sexually abusing, sexual exploitation. And again, it is intentional, it is strategic, and it is often hidden in plain sight. You are listening to The Truth Unfiltered. What are your thoughts? What questions do you have? I'm here for you. Because as a single parent, when I was bringing my kids up, we didn't have the birds and the bees talk.
Break whenever.
We had explicit discussions about the red flags, the flag on the plate, and what to do when that happens. Because I wish somebody would have told my child, oh, nobody's going to believe you, or I'm your friend. Try Jesus, but don't try me, y'all. That's all I'm saying. We'll be back. When we come back, we're going to get into, I was a little hesitant because I wasn't going to talk about it. But this is The Truth Unfiltered. So when we come back, we're going to get into former University of Michigan head football coach Sherrod Moore, once celebrated for his rise as the first Black head coach of an NCAA Division I. Well, I shouldn't say first. I should say first at University of Michigan. At the helm of one of college football's most storied programs, is now at the center of an unraveling that nobody saw coming. So when we come back, we're going to get into this. And what I really want to get into, since this is Black Talk Radio, that race has been a factor, especially as it relates to Black men who are in relationships with white women versus Black women. And so we come back, I'm going to give you some facts, and I'm going to give you some opinions, or I should say perspective. The Truth Unfiltered, your girl DT, talking text line, Truth talking text line, 833-212-1017. Stay locked in. We'll be back.
Real time
Mic's off.
by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Metastatic breast cancer, or stage 4 breast cancer, happens when cancer spreads beyond the breast to other parts of the body. About 168,000 women are living with it today, with Black women at a higher risk due to various factors. Research has led to treatments that help manage the disease and improve quality of life. The Everyday Counts study explores how nutrition and exercise coaching can support women with metastatic breast cancer. To learn more about the Everyday NBA Counts study in Milwaukee, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu. If you or someone you know has stage 4 breast cancer, please encourage them to call and enroll in this valuable study. Again, call 414-955-8819 or email edc@mcw.edu.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do little wiggles. The slate's coming in. What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
He's just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
You are listening to The Truth, Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Everybody ain't your friend, everybody ain't your partner, everybody ain't no real nigga. If I say I got you, when it's up and get up, just hold it down and keep
Alrighty.
I protect your name, I
It
won't
takes
let
my
a thing
last-
about you. Everybody ain't your friend, everybody ain't your partner.
Unfiltered live on 101.7 FM, Milwaukee Black Talk Radio. Dr. Ken is on assignment. You know, he's a busy businessman. He's not a businessman. He's a business man. DJ Brother Z, how you feeling?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I am all is well. I have no complaints. Now, you've been also holding the fort down. How long have you been producing today?
Since 4.
Ooh. I love it, nephew. I love hard workers. I love it. It pays off. Now, DJ Brother Z, I'm going to ask for just some engagement here.
Okay.
And I promise I won't keep you long. I know you heard about former University of Michigan head football coach Sharon Moore.
Yep.
Okay. Now, there's been a lot of conversations regarding the race narrative here. A lot of commentary on social media. There's been some what I call the blame white woman narrative. There's been some black women that have shared, as well as I've seen a lot of black men share their perspectives about this. So with all that being said, before I get into the quick recap of facts, actually, let me do that first, because then I want to get into our opinions or our perspectives. Now, here's a quick recap. Former University of Michigan football head coach Sharon Moore was fired after the University of Michigan found that he engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Hours after his termination, he was arrested and charged with alleged home invasion, stalking, and breaking and entering. He has since been released on bond, but faces a legal process and obviously a severe professional fallout. DJ Brother Z, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's a lot, because I didn't know the guy before all of this, and just hearing about it, hearing that he was married with 3 kids, like, bro, if you was just unhappy, you could have just left. Like, I feel like there's just so many other ways he could have went about it, and then just to break into her house and threaten her and then threaten himself, like, come on, bro, that's not player, bro. You got caught. You just got to face the consequences. Like, now you got to sit in jail when you really could have just been embarrassed in front of the world and to your family, but the fact that you damn near a felon now, like, come on, bro.
Yes. Now, let me ask you this, and thanks for sharing your thoughts. There have been some that have turned this into a racial victim tale, and there have been others that have focused on, which I believe is what you were focusing on, his behavior. Now, taking his behavior temporarily out of this conversation, do you feel that race should be a factor in this narrative?
No, it shouldn't, just because, like, okay, say his wife was black and say he cheated on his wife with a black woman. Now it would just be about his actions versus like the women, and the fact that, like, say he still, threatened to kill his the person that he had an affair with. Now we're not looking at the actions and the potential violence towards women regardless of race, and we're just looking at this man's actions by being somebody that's unloyal versus this is a man that just threatened another woman to kill another woman regardless of race.
So a lot of what you said, DJ Brother Z, I wholeheartedly agree with. Actually, I don't disagree with anything you said. However, I do want to insert some elements that are specific to former head coach Sharon Moore being a black man. Now, let me just say this. This is obviously not just about inappropriate workplace relationships, as we were talking about earlier. From my lens, it's about abuse of positional power. It's about violating boundaries. And again, it's a pattern that we've seen across all types of people that are in positions of power, not just the fact that he's a black man. And so accountability definitely comes first. There's no excuse. This was completely inappropriate workplace behavior and definitely another incident of abusing positional power. The next thing I want to say before I get into my perspective as a black woman is the impact that this has had on black coaches and how black people in general are viewed as leaders. Because there is a legitimate conversation to be had about how black leaders are judged and whether their missteps get a harsher spotlight. But again, that conversation, it has to stem from accountability, not blame shifting. So I've seen, again, conversations where, based on the reality that his wife is white and the alleged victim, his assistant, is white, positioning white women as villains in Moore's fall, it does a disservice to the deeper issues around workplace power, trust, and professional conduct. Now, I want to be clear, because again, I'm going to get into my perspective as a woman and as a black woman. However, that does not outweigh or supersede the legitimacy of him being held accountable and him taking advantage, again, of his power as the University of Michigan head coach, the trust, and the professional conduct. I want to be clear. Leadership is a responsibility, and it requires at all times ethical conduct. It's even more so when you're in that type of high-profile position. Okay, I want to be clear. That's why when I tell people all the time, let me say that differently. When I have conversations about being a leader and leadership as a whole, I always preface it with leadership is not easy and it's oftentimes lonely. Because you're surrounded, for the most part, you're surrounded by yes people. And when you're surrounded by yes people all the time, that's where the abuse of the power comes into play, because you don't have somebody pulling you to the side. Now, as a leader myself, I am so thankful and grateful to the Most High that I've been very intentional and somewhat strategic about making sure that I have groups of people around me that have no problem calling me on the phone, texting me, sending me a letter saying, "What are you thinking, Denise?" Or, "Why did you do that, Denise?" Or, "You need to rewind and do that over again." Or, "You need to do this differently." I love the fact that I have trustworthy, caring people who aren't just around when the sun is shining, but have actual, measurable, solid advice, even if I may not like it, but it's in the best interest of my leadership and my brand. See, folks like Sharon Moore and Diddy and R. Kelly and all these other people of power, they had what they call yes people. If you don't believe me, go watch or rewatch Reckoning. See, all these people that were, on the video documentary today, they saw it. They didn't say anything. Because again, you were groomed and you were a yes person. And so we have to start talking about leadership, responsibility, and ethical conduct in high profile positions, whether you're black, white, red, yellow, green, fluorescent, purple, whatever. And the dynamics that allow unchecked power in college athletics, that also needs to be at the forefront of these conversations. And how we as ticket holders, as fans, as consumers, how we support truth healing rather than having these competing victim narratives. I heard a quote from Minister Louis Farrakhan, and they were playing it over and over and over and over again on social media. And the first time that I heard it, I didn't really understand, but then after I sat somewhere and just thought about it and processed it, because Minister Louis Farrakhan, he's a man of few words, but when he speaks, whether you agree with him or not, it's powerful. And he said, when a man falls, you don't laugh, you learn. And if there's anything that we're going to learn from all of these cases and horrible incidents where people in positions of power are abusing innocent people, grooming them to the point where they can't even make conscious decisions about their safety. We have got to talk about leadership responsibility. We have to talk about accountability. Now, with that being said, because some of these narratives, they're taking us away from what's the actual truth. They're distracting us from the actual truth. Our Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. I want to hear your thoughts. You can call in, you can text. Because if we keep allowing social media conversations to focus on things that do not hold these people accountable or even teach people sexual discipline, the responsibilities of leadership, the dynamics of unchecked power, especially in college athletics and professional athletics. See, all these communities, we've seen and witnessed the victim narratives. And we've curated these victim narratives. And the thing is that we really have to focus on how did we get here in the first place? And what I mean by victim narratives is, and I'm saying this as a Black woman, so I'm really trying to be careful with my words, because all of these social media influencers, they're they're amplifying these interpretations that Moore's downfall is about the interracial dynamics, especially because both his wife and the alleged victim are white women. And what these commentaries or narratives do, from my lens and my perspective, is reducing former head coach Sherrone Moore to a stereotype and turning this into a racial victim tale instead of focusing on his behavior. And a lot of y'all did it with Diddy. Oh, they coming for the black man. Y'all didn't see the video where he was kicking Cassie like she was a... Y'all gonna make me curse on live radio. I'm not saying that race did not play a factor in terms of the response, but more importantly, how did we get here? Epstein, Weinstein, whatever his name is, Diddy, R. Kelly. Why is it that we focus on race versus focusing on the behavior and the victims? Because when I was hosting, or co-hosting, I should say, Truth Be Told with DT and Telly, when the story first broke out about Diddy, I was so exhausted emotionally because there were so many callers. After seeing the video of him literally kicking and abusing physically and assaulting Cassie, and then after watching Reckoning and hearing from people the abuse that he perpetuated and conducted on them still. Oh, y'all coming for the black man. Are you kidding me?
Break.
Oh, she got $30 million. Are you kidding me? So we come back. Definitely want to hear your thoughts. 833-212-1017. This is The Truth Unfiltered. I am your host for the remaining 5 or 10 minutes. When we come back, we'll close this out. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We will be back.
On Friday night, the Milwaukee Panthers take on the South Dakota State.
Mike's off.
It's at the Fiserv Forum.
Jump pass to the corner right. Elam, 10 on the shot clock. Back out for Zaya. Logo 3 for Zay. It's pure. It's pure.
We'll have about 4 to 6 minutes in the last segment, and then I'll play like the music from that plays in the intro as like exit music.
Kevin the Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 4 p.m.
Ho, 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 my back.
Santa?
Ho, 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 Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Yes. Next year, how about just asking for a Pella gift card? My elves are used to designing windows from other places where they're all pretty much the same. But Pella? Ho, 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 so many customizations and designs. My elves aren't qualified, so Santa has to put in some overtime. Ho,
Let me make a call. BRB.
Frighteningly fast pellet team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
Yeah, I know. Santa already lectured me. Ask for a Pella gift card.
What if you need new windows or doors, but you're on the naughty list?
Then this will definitely help. Right now, at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for 24 months.
Ho, ho, ho! Visit the Pella site. And to all, a good night.
PellaWI.com.
Service restrictions apply. Install 31/2025.
Tired of managing your rental property? Or maybe you just don't know where to start? At Odom Investments and Property Management, our professional team handles everything from tenant placement to maintenance and rent collection, so you don't have to. Let us take the stress out of property management. Call 855-ODOM-WAY or 855-636-6929 and experience the Odom Way today.
This is The Truth Unfiltered with Denise Thomas and Dr. Ken Harris.
Coming back.
117 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You are listening to The Truth Unfiltered. I am your host this evening. Typically, I am joined by the incredible, intellectual, brilliant Dr. Ken Harris. He held the fort down for 3 consecutive hours, and so I'm going to hold it down solo. I love you back, B. Bruce 1580. You have a great and beautiful evening as well. It's me, C or SE. Thank you so much. You have a great night as well. I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Also got to give a huge shout out to the amazing, incredible DJ Brother Z. Listen, man, if y'all looking for a good DJ, and I mean like, I don't mean great, I mean good. See, a lot of times, great can be the enemy of good. Make sure you book DJ Brother Z. DJ Brother Z, how can people, are you? Go. How can people connect with you to book you and pay you $1 million per hour? Okay,
So
he's not going to charge that.
Oh, okay. But if you want to pay that, go ahead, hit me up on Instagram at DJ Brother Z. Don't forget the A, not a ER.
There you go. Yeah, y'all hire DJ Brother Z because he's incredibly talented and gifted. And in 2026, I'm not fooling with nobody less than excellence. If you're mediocre, you can miss me with that. So DJ Brother Z is definitely an exceptional DJ. Now, closing out this conversation, I just want us all to take a collective breath because what we're really talking about here is bigger than one headline, one man, or one viral take. We are living in a moment where everything gets filtered through identity first. And while identity absolutely shapes lived experiences, it cannot replace accountability. Because when harm happens, when lines are crossed, and when power is misused, the focus has to be on the behavior and the people impacted. Full stop. And what concerns me is how quickly some conversations will shift away from the actual actions and toward who the perpetrator is. Their race, their background, the symbolism they represent. And look, history, it matters. The context matters, but context should inform understanding, not excuse misconduct, y'all. And so when we center the race of the person who caused the harm instead of the harm itself, we unintentionally minimize the experience of the victim. We're turning real people with real fear, real trauma, real consequences into abstract concepts while we debate the optics. And that's not justice, that's avoidance. So as people at least watch someone fall, especially when it's someone who represents our progress and possibility, just know that justice doesn't come from choosing sides based on identity. It comes from choosing truth over tribe, responsibility over reflex, and courage over comfort. That's not division, that's maturity, and that is leadership. And that's the conversation we should be brave enough to keep having. Love y'all much. If I don't talk to you prior, happy holidays. Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa. Just make sure that you spend time with your loved ones and get some rest. I love you. I love you so much. Peace out. This is The Truth Unfiltered on 101.7 The Truth. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, DT. Great show.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGK.